Welcome back to Self-Built. Today is a good one. I'm gonna show you how to build a DIY leg press with this little mabobber as the key, but it's also multi-usable. I'm gonna first show you how you can use this leg press plate, there we go, as a way to do on Smith machine. So you can use it as a vertical press or as a type of a leg press as well. So I'm going to show you that variation first, and then I'm going to show you how to do a landmine leg press machine. So it should be pretty good. So stay tuned. Here we go. Here's a better look of the setup. You can see we've got this little face plate upside down. So this is what it is, basically a board, some snazzy duct tape, and then I've got some little tie straps to hold it onto the board. Simple 2x4s with a space that you can stick any bar or piece of wood, just put something through. So this is what you're pushing on instead of just the bar. Let me show you how it works in real action. All right, so when you're getting into position, there's a couple things to consider. First thing is, if you're gonna go for a vertical press, you have to have your hips really close to where the bar travel is. And if you wanna do a leg press, you just scoop back a little bit, so that way it feels different. And when you're choosing your foot placement, I like to make sure that the middle of my foot is pretty much right where the bar travel is, because that is where this hinges. And the last thing you want to do is have your feet too high and your feet slip off for some reason, or too low. So I just like a happy medium, just like this. And then as you're pushing, this is going to move, which helps a lot if you have ankle mobility issues. Helps it just feel a lot different than doing the bar. The problem I run into when I'm doing the bar is when I go up and down so many times, my feet seem to move as I'm pushing. So this eliminates the process, and it helps me focus of pushing through my heels more, so you can build your quads more. So let me show you like this. You can see how the thing moves with it. Down just like that. Feels awesome. A lot smoother than without. One thing to watch out for is make sure your spine, keep your butt on the ground, because you don't want your lower back to be in the motion. You're gonna go to this type where you're doing more of a vertical. You gotta really be careful about that. Getting into position, you might have to lift your butt off the ground a little bit, but you wanna, if you're flexible enough, you might not want it to go this low, but you wanna keep that butt stationary. And then that way, it's more of a vertical press. You can see there's not much motion on here because I'm pretty close to right underneath it. Oof. And I've already done a leg workout. I'm just kind of doing a demo and I am burning. Okay. Whew. So this has held up very well. I don't see any sort of wearing or damage on this. So I'm gonna keep using it. One thing I've noticed is just make sure, if you're putting it on this, just make sure you put it on an even spot, so that way it's not adding any unnecessary resistance. But it feels good. So this is this first setup. Let me show you the landmine setup. Okay, here is the second setup of a leg press. Now, when I was looking for inspiration on how I came up with this, I looked at a lot of other videos out there, and I noticed a lot had a single landmine, and then they put weights on and try to press that. I saw that and was thinking that's really, really unstable. So what I like to do is, I had two landmines with a piece of wood that stabilized everything, and I have it connected to cables. That way the weight doesn't change with whatever position that this is at. So it gives you that constant time under tension weight, And then this plate just bolts, well, it doesn't bolt, but attaches right to this piece of wood. And something that I really like is it adds a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of a stability factor, since it's not built into tracks like this Smith machine. And another thing is this is very versatile and functional, because if you come up with these landmine press or landmines, I mean, there's such a huge variety of setups you can do. This is another setup you can do where it doesn't take permanent space up. So if you're stuck to a pretty small gym like I am, you need things that's very functional and versatile. So this is a great way, and let me show you how this works. All right, so first trick is learning how deep under you need to get to the plate. So with this setup, I noticed that this needs to be just barely above my waist, and it gets you in the close area of where things should be. One trick is, if you've got a setup like this, give yourself some slack with the chain. That way you just push up a little bit. Doesn't push any of the weight, but that way you can position yourself. So we'll get just like this. It's not the most graceful, but it gets the job done. So it'll get me just about here. And then you can notice there's obviously still a stability factor. So it takes a second to get used to, but something that I've found is the more weight you put on, the easier it is to stabilize. Might sound weird, but that's what I've noticed with this. And then you can kind of adjust how low you want to go. You can move your feet. And then you can also use your arms to help stabilize from the ground too. So it just takes a second to get in the groove. Just like that, you're done. You can adjust it to whatever leg length you got. If you don't have the luxury of having a Smith machine bar to rest these on, I've also got some chains that can come all the way down here that I could attach to each of these. So that's an idea you can use if you don't have that. Whew. And with that, I mean, anybody can build this, because it doesn't require anything except a couple $6 landmines. And if you can get your hands on a pipe or a barbell, piece of wood, very simple stuff. So I hope that helps somebody out there. Give it a try. It's definitely a good one, changes things up, especially with home workouts. Leg day seems to be the most stale, so this will add some spice to your life. Here's a little close-up so you can see what we got going on here. So we'll start from the beginning. Got your landmines hooked up. It's about 2 feet off the ground. Barbells coming out. They get attached into this 2x4 that I drilled some holes. And then there's a chain. I attached it before instead of after. Just seemed to make the flow easier. This connects to the cables coming from the ground. And then we got them going up. There's the weight right there. And then I did put these little things just to make it a little more snug, just some peace of mind. And then just some simple tie downs to hold this board up, and you're ready to rock. That's it for this video. Hope it helped you out. Hope it gave you some ideas of what you can do in your own setup. So let me know how it went for you. If you liked the video, don't forget to like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe over here, and don't forget to comment down below. And we'll see you next time on Self Built.